Howdy people, what's up, and welcome back to my goblin cave. By the way, if you can see these are fake. I do have freckles, not this fucking many though. So if you want to see how I did this, that is uploaded on my Instagram TV channel. And I'll put a link down below for that, because that's not what we do here. But I did make a tutorial, so you can see that if you really want to. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about everybody's least favorite and my most favorite piercing. If you're unfamiliar with this piercing, this is called snake eyes. It is a surface piercing, and it goes horizontally through the tip of your tongue. So, it's not two piercings, it's just one. Yeah, kind of scary, isn't it? Long as time ago on my old YouTube channel, back when I was still chubby, I did have a video on my piercing that actually had a lot of likes and views, but I ended up deleting the whole channel because I wanted to hide how chubby I was. But yeah, so I figured since that video is so popular, I would remake it. But don't get confused here, this is not going to tell you how to get the piercing. This is a what not to do video. Do as I say, not as I do. If you're familiar with this piercing, you've probably seen it floating around in bad piercing groups, people asking about it in piercing groups and being told off by actual professional piercers, and photo sets of the worst piercing ever, which usually contain a photo of my mouth. I just say, I do not disagree. This piercing is a very stupid idea. And I am messaged a lot on my social media by people who want this piercing and have gone into shops and have been told to get the fuck out, and they want to know how I managed to get this, and they want advice from me, and I will not give it to you. Fuck that. You should not get this piercing. I know I'm like the master of giving advice that I don't fucking follow, but I give good advice because I'm an idiot and I've done every stupid goddamn thing in existence, and I know what's gonna happen if you do it. The main problem with this piercing, it is a surface piercing. The rejection rate on surface piercings is astronomical. So there is a good chance that this will never heal correctly for you, and it's gonna rip out and permanently disfigure your tongue. Your face and your mouth is also a particularly horrible place to get an infection. A lot of people refer to this area as the triangle of death. So you do not want to get an infection there just because your sinuses and all the holes leading into your brain, you do not want to get a piercing there, and that's why a lot of places will not risk it. On top of that, your tongue is not one muscle, it's two. That line right there, that is where the two muscles fuse together, and that is why you can get the middle of your tongue pierced and you can get your tongue split, but you should not be fusing them together. There's also a big bundle of nerves right in the tip of your tongue, right where that piercing goes through. So if you puncture that nerve bundle, you can lose your sense of taste, you can paralyze your tongue, and that doesn't even account for all the problems that come with fusing the two muscles of your tongue together. Now you may ask, how the fuck do I still have this piercing if there's all these problems? I just got really, really lucky. I have had this piercing for almost a decade. It hasn't rejected or moved at all. I still have my sense of taste. I can still move my tongue. I can't do as many things as I could before. If there's food stuck in my teeth, I can't try to scrape it out with my tongue. I have to use a toothpick. And it did change my voice actually to get it. And now when I take it out, just because I had to train my tongue to pronounce words a different way, now when I take it out, you can't understand a word I'm saying. I basically sound like this. Now you're probably wondering why I haven't taken it out if it's such a dangerous piercing. The answer to that is I love this piercing so much. I think it's the cutest fucking thing ever, and I had wanted it since I was like 12. I got it when I was about 18, and I've had it ever since, and I've loved it every moment I've had it. It does get frustrating. I have a slight lisp now. There's certain words I can't pronounce properly anymore. It gets sore occasionally, so if I eat something really acidic, it gets very sore and uncomfortable. But no, I'll probably never take it out. In fact, when I got it, my initial plan was yes, this is probably going to reject, but I just want it for the time that I can have it, and I'm willing to accept the consequences. And I got it done. I expected it to maybe last a few months, and when it rejected, I had intended to get venoms, which are 2 tongue piercings that go vertically through the tongue, like right there. But that never happened. This never rejected, so I've had it ever since, and I'm honestly never planning to take it out, and I never want to get venoms either. I think that's a little too much going on in my mouth. If you've ever seen the picture of my mouth that floats around in the photo set with the piercings, you can probably see that my teeth are very fucked up, and generally people will credit that to my snake eyes piercing. But that is fucking wrong. I have actually never damaged a tooth with my snake eyes piercing. That's one of the main reasons why piercers do not want you to get it. They think you're going to break your teeth out, which you probably will if you're not careful, but I haven't broken my teeth out. Now, if you see my broken teeth in the photo set, I can explain why they are broken, and they are not broken right now. At some point, I'll probably talk about this in the near future, actually make a big series talking about my experience, but I was in a very abusive relationship, which resulted in my teeth being very damaged after all that abuse. So, and I'm also someone who has suffered with an eating disorder for most of my life, so my teeth are pretty brittle. So they kind of broke out due to other circumstances, and people like to blame my tongue ring when they're making fun of my teeth for something that very traumatizing happened, and that feels bad. You can't really explain to people that, oh no, it wasn't the tongue ring, it was I got my face smashed into a counter on every time the photo set goes around. Just people don't really care, so it's whatever. Now you're probably wondering how I managed to wind up with this piercing if so many good piercers will tell you no. And that's the thing. You don't go to a good piercer to get this. I went to exactly 7 shops asking for this piercing, and I was told no by 6 of them. It's called crazy. I was told no one will do that for you. You're gonna break out your teeth, you're gonna lose your sense of taste, you're gonna paralyze your face. And I didn't care. I wanted it. I've said in past videos that I tend to not care about the consequences of things, and it's true, I didn't care. I was very willing to lose my sense of taste for this. The shop I went to, it was not a bad shop. In fact, it was one of the really nicer shops in Tucson, but the piercer that worked there was very skeevy and didn't really give a fuck about anything. He was just like, yeah, I'll do it, just tip me good. So sat down and had it done. It was so fucking painful. First of all, guy didn't use clamps. I don't know if you're supposed to use clamps for this, because it's very hard to find it being properly done on YouTube, because like I said, a good piercer will not do this for you. So, painful part number 1, no clamps to hold the tongue in place. Painful part number 2, a curved needle was used. Painful part number 3, to get it straight using the curved needle, he had to go very slowly. So it wasn't like standard piercing where it's just like done. This was like then it bled like hell. Like I said, there's a lot of nerves right there, so it hurt really fucking bad. Probably way more than a standard tongue piercing. I wouldn't know, I've never had one. And then after that, he couldn't get the fucking jewelry in. It hurt so fucking bad. He couldn't get the jewelry in. I'm like crying while this guy has a hold of my tongue, and he called me a pussy because I was crying. The owner of the shop gave me a hug though, which was really nice. And then afterwards, I couldn't talk. Like, I didn't know how to with my tongue fused together like that. I couldn't. And then my tongue was like too big for my mouth, so I had to learn how to like keep my tongue in my mouth again. So for a while I was walking around like this. And then you learn after a while that you have to keep your teeth slightly apart. And then, yeah, so basically I'm sitting at all times with my tongue between my teeth because it doesn't really fit in my mouth that well when my mouth is closed. It gets uncomfortable and it kind of grinds on the back of my teeth, which is another reason you shouldn't get it, because it erodes your teeth. But the weird thing is, even though initial piercing was so fucking painful, the healing process was so easy. It didn't hurt anymore. Like, it was kind of uncomfortable, but it didn't hurt. It didn't swell at all, which was really weird to me. And it was like fully healed within a week. I didn't even know that was possible, but yeah, within a week, it was fine. It didn't hurt anymore. I could move the jewelry around. I was still learning how to talk and eat, though. It took me like a month to learn how to talk, and I still sometimes get spaghetti wrapped around it and choke, which is kind of scary. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. And I'm sure any piercer that's watching this is probably like, and you totally should be. So, I know it's a very stupid idea to have this piercing, and I will never recommend anyone gets it. If you try to tell me like, oh, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna tell you don't do it. Like, just maybe 1 in 100 people will have this piercing work out, probably less, and I happen to be the one person. You probably aren't. You are probably gonna have a bad time and wind up with Pac-Man tongue. And on top of that, a reputable piercing will never do this for you, so you're gonna wind up in kind of a seedy situation that you should not put yourself in anyway. So, just go for venoms or something else. Just, this is not worth the aesthetic. It was to me, but for most people, you're gonna have a bad time, and you're probably gonna end up taking it out when you realize you can't have hot sauce without your tongue getting swollen. If you want to call me stupid, that's fine. I get called stupid all the time. I call myself stupid all the time too, and that's okay. I'm very aware it's stupid, and I have a stupid piercing, and I don't know, I love my stupid piercing. But that being said, it is a very stupid piercing, and I will never recommend you get it, so please do not get it. And on top of that, if you are convinced you must have this piercing, and if you can't find the shop, please don't do it yourself. You're gonna really hurt yourself. And I don't want that to happen just so you can get a piercing that you find cute. You don't want to lose your sense of taste just so you can stick out your tongue in selfies and look cute. Well, with that, I can't really think of anything else to say, so I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go have some claw time, and if there's any videos or story times you guys would like to hear, let me know in the comments down below, and please consider giving a thumbs up. It really helps a lot. Bye!